This is what we're going to be remembered for. We're not going to remember for anything else. This is what we're going to be remembered for. The great confrontation of the free people of the West in a dictatorship that has enslaved their own people. And we went along with it. We financed it. We gave it its technology. And the reason was we did it for, as Jack Maxey reminded me during the break, for money. We did it for money. It's just not acceptable. And now we got to be sorry. Look what's done to the country. Look at the economic carnage. Look at the blood. 52,000. We'll be as many dead as in Vietnam, right? We'll be as many dead as Vietnam by Monday. In Vietnam was 9 or 10 years. This has been 9 or 10 weeks, right? And it's not stopping. That's the whole thing in Politico today. It's not going to stop. The model, the 60,000 is supposed to be the whole first wave. It's just going to keep on. It's going to keep on. We're at a plateau now. It's not going to keep at this level, but the plateau is what fooled them, right? They didn't. Jack was saying, "Hey, I think they think their model's up," and some guys, other guys, had straight down to zero. That didn't happen. Here's the reason: we know very little about this virus. They're mocking President Trump for the UV and for the light and for the bleach. Hey, who knows? That's what we keep saying. You ought to step up there and have all therapeutics. Have a list of we ought to be looking at 1,000 things. And no, I'm not saying take a pod and start sucking on a bleach pod. No. But the UV, you don't know. There's some stuff out today that guys are looking at this long term. We don't know. We ought to be funding all those therapies. We ought to be funding all these different potentials for testing and for antibodies testing. We ought to do it all. I don't happen to think there's going to be a vaccine anytime certain. And we're going to find out as this thing mutates. It's got different things they're talking about now in the Washington Post. A huge story today. People in their 20s and 30s, when they get it, they're dying of strokes. Right? They're dying of strokes. We don't know. We know very little about this. It's just come upon us. We know very little about it. But I'll tell you one thing, and I'm just backing up what the Nobel Prize winner from 2014, the French doctor, he's saying he's backing up the guys at IIT we had back on the show in January, that this did not come in God's plan, okay? There was human intervention tweaking this somehow. I don't know. But I do know when a smart guy says that over and over and over and again, the IIT guy said we should look at that, and you see this thing mutating and nobody can get control of it, right? And I want to think about this. You're just getting it in your grill here in the last 10 or 12 weeks. The Chinese people, a civilization that's 4,000 years old, lives under this boot every day. Finance, you got to embrace this. When I say financed by the West, this is the audience, you have to embrace it. Financed by your money. Remember, the hedge funds and the banks, it's all pension fund and insurance company money. It's called institutional money. That institution is the cops, the firemen, the nurses, the teachers, you at your companies. They all manage pension fund money. The reason this is a Greek tragedy is because by our own hand we were smitten. Our institutions on Wall Street, our corporations, that are all supported by institutions. Zuckerberg had no money when he starts off. He got venture capital money. The venture capital got the venture capitalists. Those guys in Silicon Valley don't have the money. They manage the money. They manage your money. It was your money that did this. You didn't know that because nobody told you. That's why it's not a conspiracy. It's in plain sight. This is plain sight. The problem with the conspiracy, then it's all kook stuff. You don't have to be kooky. Just look at the way the system works. This was the pension fund money of the deplorables that financed all the factories going over to China and left you with no jobs, right? And the opioids coming in and destroying the working class in these states. This is the reason Donald Trump's president. The managed decline, Thucydides' trap, Kissinger and all the geniuses. Thucydides' trap is just a fancy word for managed decline. They're the rising power. We're the declining power, right? The declining power's got to kind of nudge them to be more like we are, with the elites making money the entire time. That's the story here. Not a conspiracy. Pretty straightforward in plain sight.